Hallo Leute, guten Abend. Welcome back to Let's Play Planescape Die Traumfängerin. Ich heiße Big Los, or I should say, this is Big Los. We have just completed the Höhlenträume, the Hell Dream. We've spoken with Sabra, and now we are going to go out and talk to our bailiff or manager or administrator, however you want to render it. It's pretty much the same word in German. However, in English, it could mean any number of those things, and I'm sure in English there are subtle differences. In fact, most words in English are duplicated with very, very subtle differences between them. So anyways, we have in our inventory a leather armor, some unidentified boots that we can't use this identify scroll on yet. And we have the Robe de Schutzes, or the protection robe. This plus this leather armor will give the same bonus. However, I think we should... Oh. Am I still suffering from that same bug? Ah, damn it. Yeah, sometimes I can't put stuff into slots 3 or 4, and I don't know why. See? It's a weird bug. This has been hampering me for years. Literally. Anyways, we put that on and increases our dexterity, which thus increases our armor class. So we're going to talk to Jan Nauron, and we're going to get some money from him.
Can I help you?
Milady? Jan? Was macht ihr gerade? Jan, what are you doing now? Jan, könnt ihr mir über die finanzielle Lage des Gutshofs Bericht erstatten? Jan, can you report to me about the financial situation of the farm account? Jan, ich frage Geld. Sind wir einigermaßen flüssig? Jan, I need money. Are we somewhat fluid? Meaning like liquid assets. So we're going to choose number 1. Ready? Ich bin dabei, die Knechte auszuzahlen. Soll ich die Löhne wie bisher auszahlen oder wünscht ihr eine Änderung? Milady, I'm going to pay the servants. Should I pay the wages like up to now, or do you desire a change? So these 3 choices will determine how much money we're going to get and an alignment shift if applicable. So the first one says, gebt ihnen ein paar Goldstücke mehr. Es sind doch alles tüchtige Leute. Sie sollten nicht anständige Kleidung und auch mal einen extra Wunsch leisten können. Give a few more gold pieces. They are but still all able people. They should be able to afford decent clothes and sometimes an extra request, extra wish. You know, the finer things. If you choose this one, you're going to get 3 points alignment shift to the good, but you only get 500 gold pieces. The second one, lasst alles wie bisher wieder laufen. Wir haben noch keine Reichtümer angespart und ich weiß nicht, ob ich nicht bald eine größere Summe benötige. Let's continue all things as before. We haven't saved up any riches, and I don't know if I won't need a larger sum soon. If you do this, you'll get 600 gold pieces. If you do the third one, Well, let me read it first, and I'll tell you what you'll get out of it. Ich habe gehört, dass andere Gutshöfe deutlich geringe Löhne bezahlen. Ich denke, unsere Knechte arbeiten auch nicht mehr und sollten daher mit ein paar weniger Münzen im Beutel durchaus zufrieden sein. This is misspelled here. This should be zufrieden, not zufrieden. I've heard that other manors pay significantly lower wages. I think our servants no longer work as well and should thus be quite satisfied with a few less coins in the bag. If you do this, you get shifted 2 points towards the evil, but you will get 700 gold pieces out of it, so I'm going to choose this one. Since we're neutral, it really doesn't matter these shifts. We can go evil and good, and it will all balance out. Ganz recht, milady. Das Pack schafft nur was ran. Wenn man dauernd hinterher ist. Es laufen genug Bettler rum, die Arbeit für weniger Lohn machen würden. All right, milady. The vermin only work if someone pushes them constantly. There are enough beggars running around that would do the job for lower wages. And these words like rum and ran are colloquially shortened versions of Hiran and Hiram. And I had this pointed out to me on the forums. Because otherwise, these don't really translate into German, or from German into English, I should say. It's one of those special cases. Doch wahrscheinlich nicht so gut. Sei's drum. Ich habe kein Geld so verschenken. Ich habe es selbst dringend nötig. Wie viel kann ich für meine Zwecke entnehmen? But probably not so good. So be it. I have no money to give. I myself have an urgent need for it. How much can I withdraw for my purposes? Nun, milady, es sind noch 700 Goldmünzen für die Herrschaft übrig. Well, milady, there are still 700 gold coins left for your personal use. Alright, so we have maximized that. Sehr schön, Jan. Dann macht weiter mit eurer Arbeit. Ich bezahle euch schließlich dafür. Very nice, Jan. Then carry on with your work. I ultimately pay you for it. And that dumps us out, and we get the 700 gold. And as you can see, we are 2 points towards the evil. However, we could still talk to him.
Can I help you?
Lady. And now we have 2 choices here. The first one I have already read. And unfortunately, the third one that I was going to read is no longer here. Oh well. This one says, Wir haben das Wichtigste ja schon besprochen, Jan. We have already discussed the most important thing, Jan. Macht ruhig weiter mit eurer Arbeit. Ich möchte euch nicht länger stören. Just continue with your work. I don't want to interrupt you. No, we're going to do this one. Number 2 on my paperwork. Sicher, milady. Certainly, milady. Die letzten Jahre war die Ernte zum Glück immer ordentlich. This last year, the harvest was, fortunately, always orderly. Oh yeah, This thing that we asked, in case you have forgotten, this is when we ask about the financial report of the farm. Trotzdem konnten wir nur wenig ansparen, denn wie ihr wisst, hatten wir eine schlimme Seuche, die zum Tod einiger guter Zuchtstuten geführt hat. Nevertheless, we were able to save up just a little because, as you know, we had a terrible epidemic which led to the deaths of some broodmares. Those are certain types of horses. Außerdem musste nach dem letzten Unwetter etliche Nebengebäude kurzspielig instand gesetzt werden. Moreover, the recent thunderstorm has... Actually, no. I'm reading the wrong one. In addition, after the last storm, several outbuildings had to be repaired at great cost. Yep, kostspielig. Great cost. Nebengebäude, that's outbuildings. Seufz. That's a sigh. Ich weiß. I know. Zumindest können wir unsere Bediensteten noch bezahlen. I know. At least we could still pay our staff. Sicher. Wir haben zwar keine großen Überschüsse, aber insgesamt steht das Gut durchaus auf gesunden Füßen. Wir können uns nur keine Missernte leisten. For sure. We may not have large surpluses, but overall, the property is on quite healthy feet. We just can't afford a bad harvest. Nun, das Wetter ist doch gut, Bücher. Ich mache mir nicht über Dinge Sorgen, die ich sowieso nicht beeinflussen kann. Well, the weather is good so far. I'm not worried about things that I can't influence anyway. Euer Verwalter blickt in meckendes Gelachte aus. Your administrator bursts out in bleeding laughter. Nun, wenn ich vorschlagen darf, ein paar Gebete an Chantier könnten womöglich helfen. Well, if I may suggest, a few prayers to Chantier could possibly help. Alright, so we have 3 choices here. First one says, Mäßigt euch Jan. Ich leugne nicht die Macht der Güte. Doch bin ich der Meinung, dass sie Ehrgaben Rex Valus verteilen und der Gebeten der Menschen nur wenig Gehör schenken. Doch habt ihr wohl recht. Zu beten schadet nicht. Control yourself, Jan. I don't deny the power of the gods. But I'm of the opinion that they distribute their gifts rather indiscriminately and pay only little attention to the prayers of the people. But you're probably right. Praying never hurts. And this is the one we're going to choose. Lach nicht über die Gülte, Jan. Das kann ich nicht dulden. Ich bitte so Chantier und ich bin sicher, sie will sich der Gebete einer Gläubigen Seele nicht verschließen. Don't laugh about the gods, Jan. That I cannot condone. I pray to Shantia, and I'm sure she will not ignore the prayers of a faithful soul. The third one says, Ihr fallt in Jans Gelagte mit ein und zwinket ihm sputisch zu. You chime in with Jan's laughter and wink at him mockingly. Gewiss, ich werde daran denken, Jan. Man sollte die Gülte nicht vernachlässigen. Certainly, I will remember, Jan. One should not neglect the gods, so we're going to choose the second one. Wie ihr meint, milady, ihr wisst ja, dass ich die Macht des Geldes höher schätze als die wankelmutigen Hilfen der Güte. As you say, milady, you know that I appreciate the power of gold higher than the fickle support of the gods. It's not a good thing to say. So now we have two choices here. Der wird es wohl seid, mich von euch zu trennen, Jan, denn eine Verwalter, der seinen Unglauben wie eine Standarte Musik trägt, musste ich nicht hier auf den Gutstauf haben. Then it is probably time to separate myself from you, Jan. Because a manager that wears his unbelief as a banner in front of him, I would not like to have here on the farm. That's the one we're going to choose, but let me read the second one. Euer Glauben ist euer Sache, Jan. Nur sagt nicht. Ich hätte euch nicht gewarnt. Wenn ihr dann nach eurem Ableben in der Mauer der Ungläubigen schmachtet. Okay, that's the wall of the faithless. The Mauer der Ungläubigen. Your faith is your thing, Jan. Just don't say that I didn't warn you when you languish in the wall of the faithless after your demise. Nach eurem Ableben, after your demise. So let's do the first one. Lady, es war nur Spaß. Lady, es war nur Spaß. It was only fun. Lady, it was only fun. Or I have the official translation here too. It was rendered, I was just joking. It was only fun. Dann wählt euer Späße besser, Jan. Ihr wisst, wie ich da so stehe. Aber gut, für diesmal will ich nochmal darüber hinwegsehen. Then choose your jokes better, Jan. You know how I stand by it. But, well, for this time, I will once more look the other way. Alright, and unfortunately, we're not going to have that third option anymore. Alright, so we have our gold. We had our conversation. Now let's go downstairs and... Oh, what's in here? Oh, the healer's kit. Yeah, we're probably going to need that. Oh yeah, you're gonna connect the servant boy. He's complaining about his payday. Probably not getting as much as he'd like. Oh well, not my problem. Alright. So here's Meister Abel. Master Abel. But before we talk to him, there's a portrait that we're gonna look at that's over here. Horatio Dragonslayer, der berühmte Vorfahr meines Mannes. Horatio Dragonslayer, the famous forefather or ancestor of my husband. Corbin musste sein Schwert in Holst beim Landleicher besetzten. Corman had to sell his sword in Holst at the pawnbroker. Es war sicher eine gute Waffe. It was for sure a good weapon. It was certainly a good weapon. That's true. And we are going to seek it out, even though we won't have the ability to use it. But somebody in our party will in the future. And if you've watched the last playthrough, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And we're going to be talking to him later. In this episode, no doubt. Alright. Meister Abel. Now, in the German, would you pronounce this Charis? You know, because the CH is a sound? Or would you just say Charis, like French? I'm not really sure, because I don't think that this is a traditional German name. But I could be wrong, though. So, German speakers, if this is a traditional German name, is the pronunciation Charis or is it Charis? I don't know. I'm just gonna guess and say Charis. Endlich kommt ihr. Ist es euch wirklich ernst mit der Prüfung? Charis, finally you've come. Are you generally earnest about the exam? Earnest? Serious? Are you genuinely serious about the exam? So we have two choices here. And they're not much different from each other. Meister Abel, entschuldige ich, dass ich euch warten ließ. Master Abel, apologies that I had you wait. Natürlich, es ist mir ernst mit der Prüfung. Of course I'm serious with the exam. Als ich die ersten Stunden Kampfunterricht bei euch nahm, hatte ich nur einen Gedanken. Nie mehr will ich für jemanden ein leichtes Opfer sein. When I took the first hours of fighting lessons with you, I had only one thought. I no longer want to be an easy victim for anyone. And the second one says, Meister Abel, entschuldigt, dass ich euch warten ließ. And it's the same thing, Master Abel, apologies that I had you wait. Natürlich, es ist mir ernst mit der Prüfung. Of course I'm serious with the exam. Als ich die ersten Stunden Kampfunterricht bei euch nahm, hatte ich nur einen Gedanken. When I took the first hours of fighting lessons with you, I had but one thought. Ich will meinen Mann befreien. I will free my husband. I want my husband free. And I guess we're going to choose the first one. Ich weiß, und dies ist nicht der schlechteste Antrieb, die Kampfkunst zu erlernen. I know, and this is not the worst drive to learn the martial art. Doch nun wird sich zeigen, ob ihr eure Fähigkeiten auch ausreichend geübt und verinnerlicht habt, sie in echtem Kampf erfolgreich einzusetzen. But now you'll show if you have your skills sufficiently practiced and internalized in order to successfully use in real combat. Habt ihr daran Zweifel? War ich nicht eine fleißige Schülerin? Have you doubts about that? Was I not a diligent student? Das wart ihr zweifellos und begabt. That you were undoubtedly and gifted. Als ihr das erste Mal in meiner Trainingshalle gekommen seid, habe ich euch ehrlich gesagt nicht zugetraut, dass ihr durchhaltet. When you came for the first time to my practice hall, I honestly haven't thought that you'd keep through it. Aber nun steht ihr tatsächlich vor der Prüfung, vor der alle meine Schüler stehen, die sich nicht mit Übungskämpfen und Scheintoten zufrieden geben wollen. But now you indeed stand before the test, before which all my students stand, who themselves don't want to settle for scrimmages and apparent deaths. Meister Abel blickt in drohendes Gelachter aus. Master Abel bursts out into droning laughter. Ich muss wissen, ob ich töten kann. I need to know if I can kill. Jeder kann töten, Chris. Wenn man ihn nur weit genug treibt. Anyone can kill, Charisse, if one is driven far enough. Die Frage ist nur, seid ihr schneller als jene, die euch töten wollen? The only question is, are you faster than those who want to kill you? Viele meiner Schüler werden sich, nachdem sie mein Zertifikat erworben haben, als Wache. Many of my students are themselves hired as bodyguards after they have obtained my certificate. Wie schnell wollt ihr euch unbedingt in solche Gefahr begeben? For what reason do you want to necessarily put yourself into such danger? Ihr seid gut genug, keine leichte Beute abzugeben und habt es nicht nötig, mit Kampfkunst euer Gold zu verdienen. You are good enough to deliver an easy prey, and you do not need to earn your gold with martial arts. So we got two choices here. Ich musste mich nicht mit Halbheiten benungen. Wie läuft die Prüfung ab, Meister? Was muss ich tun? I do not want to be content with half measures. How is the test passed, Master? What must I do? And the second one says, ich werde den ganzen Weg gehen, Meister. Dies ist nur der erste Schritt in die richtige Richtung. I wish to go all the way, Master. These challenges are just the first steps of a much longer journey. So we're going to choose that one. Die Prüfung besteht aus zwei Teilen. The examination consists of two parts. Der erste Teil findet in meiner Trainingshalle in Holst statt. The first part takes place in my training hall in Holst. Im zweiten Teil müsst ihr euch in einer natürlichen, friedlichen Umgebung bewähren. In the second part, you must prove yourself in a natural, hostile environment. Gut, ich komme zur Trainingshalle, sobald ich hier fertig bin. Good. I'll come to the training hall as soon as I am finished here, as soon as I'm done here. Schön hier ist. Ich erwarte euch dort. Alles ist vorbereitet. Wir können beginnen, sobald ihr eintrefft. Beautiful, Charisse. I await you there. Everything is prepared. We can begin as soon as you arrive. And there he goes, out the door. Amazingly, without even opening it up. Alright, so we have a few more people to speak with. We go this way, and we can go into the kitchen here. And we meet with both Jared and Marge. So let's talk to Jared first. Jan, braucht ihr mich? Ich bin gleich mit Essen fertig. Mistress, do you need me? I'm just about finished with my meal. Ja, ich wollte dir etwas erzählen. Ich hoffe, du lachst nicht über mich. Jared, I wanted to tell you something. I hope you won't laugh at me. Empört, which means... I think that means hurt. Hold on a second. Okay, that means indignant or shocked. Was sollte ich über euch lachen, Herren? Why would I laugh at you, Mistress? Das schickt sich nicht und war das Benehmen eines Flegels. That is not proper and would be the conduct of a boor. Ich würde es nie wagen, die Frau meines Herrn zu beleidigen und damit sein Ansehen zu beschmutzen. I would never dare to insult my master's wife, and thus to besmirch his reputation. Ihr unterdrückt mit Mühe ein Seufzen. Ja, ist mit Sicherheit euer leuerster Diener, aber seit euer Mann weg ist, scheint es als seine auferlegte Pflicht anzusehen, dessen Andenken makellos zu halten und euch mit aller Kraft zu beschützen. You suppress a sigh with difficulty. Jared is definitely your most loyal servant, but since your husband is away, he seems to regard it as his imposed duty to keep his memory spotless and to protect you with all of his strength. Sicher, Jared. Daran würde ich nie zweifeln. Sure, Jared, to that I would never doubt. Dann rein offen, Herrn. Es war mir eine Ehre, euch mit Rat und Tat zur Seite zu stehen. Then talk openly, mistress. It would be an honor to stand by your side with help and advice. Es geht meinen Traum. It's about a dream. Whew, something stuck in my throat there. It's about a dream. Ihr holt Tiefblut, doch schließlich überwindet ihr euch und erzählt Jared euren seltsamen Traum in allen Einzelheiten. You take a deep breath, but eventually you overcome yourself and tell Jared your strange dream in full detail. Nun, was sagst du dazu, Jared? Well, what do you say to that, Jared? Jared hat eure Erzählung mit tiefen Ernst zugehört. Nun aber ist sichtlich aufgewühlt und fast plötzlich nach eurer Hand. Jared has listened to your story with deep earnestness, but now he is visibly upset and suddenly grasps your hand. Dieser Traum ist mehr als ein Traum, Herrn. This dream is more than a dream, mistress. Ist ganz sicher eine Botschaft eures Mannes, der irgendwie einen Weg gefunden hat, in dieser Traumgestalt Kontakt mit euch aufzunehmen. Ihr müsst ihn ernst nehmen. It is quite certainly tidings from your husband, who somehow has found a way in this dream figure to initiate contact with you. You must take him seriously. Alright, so we have two choices here. One will gain you influence with Jared. The other will lose you influence. So it's always better to gain influence with your companions. That way you'll be able to have more conversations later down the line. So the first one is: Ich habe Ähnliches vermutet, Jared, und was du sagst bestärkt mich in meinen Glauben. I've suspected something similar, Jared, and what you said reinforces me in my belief. Aber wie kann das möglich sein? Wie kann kommen den Weg in meine Träume finden? Und was ist mit den anderen schrecklichen Träumgestalten, die zu mir sprachen? But how can that be possible? How can Corman find the way into my dreams? And what about the other terrible dream figures who spoke to me? The other one says, mit einem kühlen Lächeln sieht ihr ja euer Hand. With a cool smile, you withdraw your hand from Jared. Du vergisst dich, Jared. You forget your place, Jared. Es mag sein, dass du mit deiner Vermutung recht hast, aber im Grunde verstehst du dich nicht auf Traumdeutung. Er könnte auch eine ganz andere Bedeutung haben, als du annimmst. Okay, I think there is an N missing here. I think there's supposed to be two N's. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is misspelled here. I'm like 99% sure. Anyways. So you forget your place, Jared. It may be that you are right with your presumption, but basically you yourself don't understand dream interpretation. It could also have a totally different meaning than you assume. So we're going to do the first one, and we'll gain some influence. Jared schüttelt unglücklich den Kopf. Jared shakes his head unhappily. Ich weiß nicht, Herrn. Ich weiß nur, dass mein Herr in bezweifelte Lage ist und Hilfe gebeten hat. Daran habe ich keinen Zweifel. Euer Herz weiß, dass es so ist, und das genügt mir. I don't know, milady. I just know that my lord is in a desperate situation and that he is asking for help. I have no doubt about it. Your heart knows that it is true, and that is all I need to know. So now we have three choices here. And one of them will serve to lose us some influence, so we're not going to choose that. The first one says, Du hast recht, Jared. In meinem tiefsten Herzen weiß ich, dass dies die Wahrheit ist, auch wenn es noch so unwahrscheinlich klingt. Dort, wo nun ist er als Liebe zu mir, und es ist meine Pflicht, ihm bei der Flucht zu helfen. You're right, Jared. In my heart of hearts, I know that this is the truth, even if it still sounds so unlikely. Where he is now, it is out of love for me, and it is my duty to help him escape. Second one. Ja, für dich ist es einfacher. Du bist es gewohnt zu kämpfen. Jared, for you it's easier. You're used to fighting. Ich kann mir nicht vorstellen, wie ich das schaffen soll. Ich wünschte, ich war damals nicht ausgeritten und in die Hände dieses Wahnsinnigen gefallen. Ich wünschte, ich könnte so unbeschwert leben wie vor diesem grässlichen Ereignis. Selbst kommen ist mir fremd geworden. I can't imagine how I should do it myself. I wish back then I had not written out and fallen in the hands of this maniac. She's talking about the necromancer. That's in the description. I wish I could live so carefree like before this ghastly event. Even Corman has become a stranger to me. The third one, and this will lose its influence. This one right here. This one won't. The third one, ich bin mir da nicht so sicher, Jared. I'm not so sure, Jared. Doch wenn es so sein sollte, so habe ich keine Furcht, die Rechnung zu begleichen. But if it should be so, I'm not afraid to settle the score. Ich habe mich auch verändert. Ich bin schon einmal durch die Hölle gegangen. I've also changed myself. I've already gone through hell. Ich werde nicht mehr irgendjemandes Opfer sein. Es wird Zeit, dass unser Finden bezahlen. I'll never be anyone's victim. It is time that our enemies pay. No, we're going to do the first one. Herren, wenn ihr das Wagnis auf euch nehmen wollt, lasst mich euer Begleiter sein. Ich würde nicht zulassen, dass euch ein Leid geschieht. Möchte euer Schutzschild sein, an dem die Schwerte der Feinde zu brechen. Ihr wisst, dass ich euer Mann ein guter Leibwächter war, und ich weiß, ihr wundert wollen, dass ich auch euch mit all meiner Kraft zur Seite stehe. Mistress, if you will take the risk on yourself, let me be your companion. I wouldn't let a pain betide you. I'd want to be your shield and to shatter the swords of your enemies. You know that I was a good bodyguard to your husband, and I know he would want me to stand even with you with all my strength at your side. Ich werde darüber nachdenken, Jared. Der rechte Zeitpunkt ist noch nicht gekommen. Ich muss mir erst klar werden, wo ich anfangen soll mit meiner Suche. I'll think about it, Jared. The right point in time has not yet come. It must be clear for me where to start my search. Herren, wenn ihr meinen Rat wollt, so kann eine gute Ausrüstung für die Weiterreise, die vor uns liegt, sicher nicht schaden. Mistress, if you want my advice, it surely can't hurt to get good equipment for the long journey ahead of us. Was wir hier in der Waffenkammer haben, taugt höchstens für ein paar Stragdiebe. What we have here in the armory is suitable against no more than a few highwaymen. It's that, like, thrush thieves. Yeah, highwaymen, I think that's what that renders to. Und vielleicht könntet ihr jemanden finden, der sich besser mit Träumen auskennt, als ich und euch mehr dazu sagen kann. Wir brauchen jede Information, die wir kriegen können. And maybe you can find someone who is familiar with dreams better than I can and tell you more. We need all the information we can get. And we will find such a person, but it won't be until later in the game. After Chapter 1. Du hast recht, Jared. In der Stadt gibt es sicher Gelehrte, die sich damit auskennen. You're right, Jared. In the city, there are certain scholars who are familiar with it. Yeah, but none of them can help. Sucht sie aufhören. Aber wenn ihr wirklich Gefährliches tun wollt, denkt an mich. Mein Schwert gehört euch. Seek them out, mistress, but if you really want to do perilous things, think of me. My sword is yours. Alright. And now we have one more person to talk to before we call it an episode, because we've actually gone quite a bit this time. We're going to talk to Marge over here.
Well, hello.
Ah, schön, euch zu sehen. Wünscht ihr was Besonderes? Ah, nice to see you. Do you wish something special? So we have two choices here. Nein, Marge, ich wollte nur einen Blick in die Topfe werfen. And, oh, I didn't translate that. Hold on a second. That says, no, Marge, I just wanted to have a look in the pots. And the second one is the one we're going to do. Ich würde gern das heutige Menü mit dir durchsprechen, Marge. I would like to talk through the current menu with you, Marge. Gerne. Ich dachte, I think this is misspelled here. I think this is dachte. Dachte. There's supposed to be a T here. Ich dachte an Graupensuppe, Geflügel, danach Holste Honigkugeln und als Abschluss etwas von unserem guten Käse. Was meint Milady zu diesem Vorschlag? With pleasure. I thought of pearl barley soup, poultry afterwards, honey balls from Holst, and as conclusion, some of our fine cheese. Marge's Gesichtsausdruck lässt darauf schließen, dass Milady besser nicht so viel bemängeln sollte. Marge's facial expression suggests that Milady had better not find fault with too much. So now we have three choices here, and we're actually going to go through all of these. First one says, Marge, dein ständiges Geflügel hängt mir zum Hals heraus. Ich hätte sehr gerne mal Wildbret. Eine Rehkeule wäre nicht schlecht. Marge, your constant poultry makes me want to hang myself from the neck. Or, basically, I'm just sick and tired of poultry. I would very much like game for once. And when she means game, she means like venison. A haunch of venison would not be bad. The next one. Graupensuppe. Schon der Name verursacht mir Übelkeit. Pearl barley soup? Even the name gives me nausea. Hört sich doch wunderbar an, Marge. Ich bin sicher, es wird mir wie immer köstlich muten. Nevertheless, sounds wonderful, Marge. I'm sure it will taste delicious as always. I think that's what this means, Munden. I haven't been able to find a good translation for this, but I think it has something to do with your mouth. So we're going to do the first one. Lady, Hähnchen kann man immer essen. Lady, you can always eat chicken. Doch wenn ihr mir ein saftiges Stück Wildbret besorgt, könnte ich natürlich auch dieses machen. Aber in der Speisekammer ist nichts derartiges mehr. However, if you procure me a juicy piece of venison, I could, of course, do this. But nothing further of the kind is in the pantry or larder. It could be either. Na gut, ich werde sehen, was ich machen kann. Alright, so this, look at the tool set, doing that updates one of the journal entries. However, we don't have any journal entries. And I don't know why. I looked at the tool set, and when I pulled up the journal, there was nothing. Not one thing in the journal. Now, I don't know if that's a bug or not, but the campaign comes with module.jrl, but I don't know why it's not pulling up in the tool set and nothing's showing up here. I don't know, maybe I have a bugged version or something, who knows. Alright, let's talk to Marge again.
Well, hello.
She says the same thing, and we're going to do this second one. Pearl barley soup? Even the name makes me nauseated. Beleidigt, which means offended. Was denn exakt, milady? Euer Mann hat sie immer gelobt. You don't say, milady. Your husband has always praised it. Ich konnte natürlich eine Kürbelsuppe machen, aber in unserem Kräutergärtchen wächst keiner mehr. I could, of course, make a chervil soup. A chervil is like a parsley type plant. But no more grows in our herb garden. That means we're going to have to find some somewhere else. Somewhere else. Na gut, ich werde schauen, ob sich da was machen lässt. Well, I'll see if there is something I can do.
Well,
And
hello.
I guess we'll do the third one. Geschmeichelt. Flattered. Gewiss, milady. Man tut, was man kann, aber es macht wirklich Freude, für jemanden zu kochen, der die Mühe auch zu würdigen weiß. Certainly, milady. You do what you can. But it really is a pleasure to cook for someone who appreciates the trouble, too. And when we say that, we go 3 points towards the good. And we can do this over and over and over again. Gaining 3 points towards the good. It will never run out. So anyways, we are kind of running up on time. Nothing in there. There is still the mystery as to... I don't know if we'll need any of this stuff. Maybe the gold piece. There's still the mystery as to why the journal isn't working. In this version and in the English version, The Shape of Her Dreams, when I open them in the tool set, there are no journal entries when you try to pull up the journal, which is kind of strange because if you do it, if you're editing like the original campaign, Master the Betrayer, Storm is a Here, or any other fan-made mod, like for example, I have Dark Waters. If you pull that up and then you check the journal, there's definitely a lot of journal entries in there. Sarmates is the same way, but I don't know why it's not appearing in this one. I don't know. If anyone would know the answer, please feel free to leave a message in the comment section. But anyways, this is Big Los signing off. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Auf Wiedersehen. Mach's gut. Tschüss.